Good afternoon, everybody. How are you all doing? Welcome to another exciting episode on my channel, Flourish and Thrive with EA, where we talk about relationship matters, healing trauma, and trauma recovery, where we handle how to have healthy relationship. My name is Elizabeth Akiniyi, and I am a relationship and marriage therapist. And today we are diving into another series, and this series is going to last for, I don't know how many weeks it's going to take, but I know it's going to last for some time. And so we'll be taking this series called Codependency. So we'll be talking about what is codependency, the signs of codependency, the relationship dynamics in codependency, and how it is connected to your attachment style, and how to actually heal from codependency. So that is what we'll be talking about for the next few weeks in this channel. So there's a lot to talk about. And today we'll be talking about basically what is codependency and what are the signs of codependency. So that is what we'll be talking about today. So without wasting much of your time, let's go into what we have to talk about today. I'm sorry my voice is kind of not clear because I'm actually stressed out, and because I'm stressed it has affected my voice, but that's not a big deal. That's not a big deal. um I know by next week my voice will be back to normal. I've been taking the necessary procedure to actually make sure that I overcome the stress. I've just pushed myself too much and it's affected my body. So actually I'm resting. So guys, like I said, we'll be talking about codependency and what are the signs of codependency. So what exactly is codependency? When I talk about this, some people are going to say, wow, am I making it all up? But it's all true. So I will term codependency just in one sentence, and that is self abandonment. I repeat again, self abandonment. So when we mean self abandonment in the context of codependency, it is a situation whereby other people they come first before you. You choose other people first. You take care of them. You are the savior. You are the caretaker. You love them. You attend to their needs, thereby abandoning your own needs, abandoning yourself, and losing yourself in that process. And it works like this, that even though you try to stop it, you don't know how to stop it, because you taking care of them, you being the savior, the caretaker, gives you your self of identity. Without you taking care of anybody, without you rescuing anybody, without you solving people's problem, you don't feel enough about yourself. So that is how it is. So it's a situation whereby your glass is empty and you are thirsty and you need to drink water, but you find yourself taking water and pouring water into another person's cup. So instead of you taking care of yourself first, you start taking care of that person. And there's nothing wrong in taking care of people, but when it becomes toxic or harmful is that when you don't stop taking care of them and you abandon yourself. So like the example I just gave, you are thirsty and you need to drink water, and maybe you have a friend who is also thirsty and they need to drink water. You bring two glass cups out, you take the jar of water and you pour water into your friend's cup, and you decide you're not going to drink water anymore, you're thirsty, and you can see that dynamic is not so good. And the thing there is this: you keep pouring water into your friend's cup, you keep solving their problem, whereby you have a whole load of problem in your life and you're not solving your problems. That is exactly how it is. You become resentful, such people become drained, such people become low because of the fact that they stay at a point. They are not moving forward in life. They are not moving forward in life. The people they are helping might be moving forward, they might be changing their lives, while they themselves stay in that fixed point, because that is where they get their self-esteem from. That is where they get their self-worth from. So they seek for love and validation outside, not in within. The correct correlation for getting love is in this way: you love yourself first. When you are okay with yourself, then you give love to another person. That is how it's supposed to be. But in this situation, they don't love themselves. So instead of them looking inwardly of themselves to love themselves, they seek that love outside by doing, by helping, by doing all sorts of things to other people, so that when they do that, the gestures, the remarks they get from those people make them feel worthy. That is when they can feel like as if they are accomplishing something with their life. So you can see it's not a balanced dynamic at all. Even the Bible says love your neighbor as yourself. So you have to first of all love yourself before you love your neighbor. So a situation whereby you love your neighbor, you don't love yourself, it is not balanced. It is not balanced. So most of them believe they are not enough. The only time I can be enough is when I help other people. So I'm going to give some examples now. Look at this in this scenario. Somebody is naked, walking around naked, and they give that person clothes, some clothes to wear. You now find another naked person beside you. You give that naked person the clothes to wear. People keep giving you clothes. You keep giving other people your clothes because you believe that once they are clothes, you are all right. Once they are all right, I am all right. You don't care for your own needs. You don't care that you are naked. You don't care that you are moving around naked. As long they are fine, I am fine. That is how it is. That is how it is. There is a proverb. I come from Africa. I'm a Nigerian. I come from Africa. I'm from Yoruba tribe. All the Nigerians in the house, I hear you now. So as it is, in Nigeria, we have a proverb. I'm going to explain it in English, but let me say it. One year, what it means in English is that he who is going to clothe somebody must eventually have clothes on their body. Somebody that does not have good clothes cannot give you good clothes. Imagine somebody wearing rags and that person is telling you, I am going to give you good clothes to wear. Tell me, who needs the good clothes, you or the person you want to clothe? That is exactly how it is. They abandon themselves. They abandon everything they have to do, all just to take care of somebody. So thereby losing themselves in that way, because that is where their self-worth comes from. They have low self-esteem about themselves. They believe they are not good enough. Most of the time they don't have boundaries. It is very difficult for them to say no. It is very difficult for them to be alone. They always like to take care of people. They are the savior, the rescuer, the fixer in every place. They are the problem solver. They always take up everybody's case, but they fail to take up their own problem. So most of the time they are like somebody living in an illusion. There's a blindfold in their face, so they can't see their problem. They believe that by taking care of other people, by solving other people's needs, by pleasing people, their own needs are met. So it happens mostly sometimes to some parents. It happens mostly with therapists. We suffer from it. Yes. Because you want to solve everybody's problem. You can't save everybody. Again, is the truth. We therapists, we coaches, we consultants, we fall into that bracket sometimes if we are not careful. We have spiritual leaders who fall into that cycle also, taking care of people and forgetting about themselves. So most of the time it becomes an addiction when you start taking care of people continuously, whereby you can't stop. It becomes an addiction. That is the only thing that makes you feel good. Then it is probably you're suffering from codependency syndrome. What I might be saying might not look so beautiful today, but I am somebody, I don't know how to sugarcoat the truth. I say it as it is. So I'm sorry if I sound sarcastic. I don't mean to, but I just have to say it the way it is. When you are codependent, you depend on other people's approval for you to feel good. That is the reason why you will go extra mile to make sure that their needs are met while you abandon your own needs. So that is how it is. So before I actually go into the sign, I'm actually going to say some few points here. If you are watching me and you have codependency syndrome, or even if you don't have the codependency syndrome, listen attentively. It is not your responsibility to take care of other people's problem. You are not responsible for other people's problem. You are not responsible for the way people perceive you. You are not responsible for what other people think about you. You are not responsible to fixing anybody or rescuing anybody. You are not responsible for anybody's bad behavior. If anybody thinks or perceives something about you, it is more about them than you. Because no matter what you do, you can never please people. Even if you do something good, some people will still find a way to say something negative about what you do. You might say the nicest things, you might do the nicest things, but somebody will still find fault in you being nice. So why would you care when you do something nice and somebody begins to see faults in it and begins to read meanings to it and gets you upset, and you begin to think of what you can do to make them like you? If people are not going to like you, they are not going to like you. It is just the damn truth. I may sound sarcastic today, but I just have to eat the nail on the head. Say it as it is. You are not responsible for solving people's problem. If people have a problem, let them handle it. It is not your job to rescue people at all times. Most ladies in relationship will go into a relationship. You know this guy has a toxic tendency. You see the red flag, but because you are insecure, having a low self-esteem about themselves, they go into the relationship believing that I can change him. And that is wrong. You don't go into a relationship to fix anybody. You don't go into the relationship to change anybody. If you're in a relationship with somebody and you find negative traits about them, it is not time for you to make a choice. It's either you leave or you endure. The door is open. It is like I've always said, relationship is not a do or die affair. If it's not meeting your values, if it's not meeting your morals, if it's bringing out the worst in you, walk away. Don't stay in a place where you are not appreciated, whereby you would have to start trying to fix them. trying to change them. You now become the caretaker, you now become the savior, you make excuses for them, you try to put off a front in front of everybody. Oh, we are the best couples, oh, we are the best thing so far, while you know all what you're doing is nothing but a sham, a facade. You are not responsible to fixing anybody. And when you fix other people's problem, you make them dependent upon you. You don't give them the wings to fly. Every time they have a problem, they will always come to you. They will always look up to you. They can't make decisions on their own. They can't solve problems on their own. So, and as a result, when you are not around, they become weak and feeble. You create weak people by solving their problems all the time. Let people face their challenges. Let people face their problems don't make you weak, they make you stronger. Like I will always say, there's a song, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. Yes, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. If somebody has a bad behavior, if somebody has a bad attitude, and you are with them in a relationship, it is not your responsibility to feel guilty or try to think it's because you are not doing one thing or the other. That's the reason why they are behaving the way they are behaving. Don't make excuses for anybody's bad behavior. Don't stay in a relationship and cover up somebody's bad behavior. If they have a bad behavior, leave. Fix yourself. Take care of yourself. That is what is most important. I am giving this advice out to anybody out there who happens to be in a situation whereby you're always taking up other people's responsibility. You are into people's pleasing, because that's one of the main characteristics. They are into people's pleasing. They please people a lot. So it does not make it. It's not what is at all. So if you find yourself in that situation, now is the time to come to the realization that you need to stop trying to please people. So most of the people that happen to be in this category, like I've said before, they are actually, maybe they might be the firstborns, they might actually be we therapists. We happen to fall into that category too. Because most of the time we take care of other people, we don't remember ourselves. You find leaders, pastors, church religious leaders, you find ladies, you find them taking care of other people while they abandon themselves. You can't pour from an empty cup. No, it is when you're full, that is when you can fill another person's cup. When your cup is half full, you can't help anybody. That is just it. I will say the poor can't help the poor. It is only when you are rich you can hear the poor. Imagine the poor trying to help the poor. Who is going to help you? That is how it is. So it's a situation whereby the relationship they have with people is not balanced. It is toxic. So that's the reason why we say it is a toxic tendency. It is a toxic pattern, trying to fix everybody, trying to help everybody, trying to be what they call it, the best of the best in everybody, all just because you want to be appreciated, you want to be loved. It becomes an addiction, because that is where you get your feeling of self-worth. When you don't do anything, that is when you begin to realize that you can't do. You such people might feel worthless, they might feel hopeless, they might feel they are not good enough. I want you to understand something. You are beautiful. If you're a man, you are handsome, and I want you to know that you are enough. You are created in the image of God, and in the image of God you have everything. When I say everything, you have everything that makes you unique, that makes you special. So you are enough. So start thinking of yourself in a more highly way, and don't look down on yourself. So that is my final word for anybody in that situation. So now let's go to the signs. What are the signs of codependency? One of the signs is people's pleasing. They people enough a lot. They find it very difficult to say no. They always want to make everybody happy. They always want to make everybody smile. When they themselves are not happy, they like to give everybody food when they are hungry, and they continue to go hungry and hungry. When somebody is hungry and you give them food for once, the next time you eat is a different case. But this is a continuous issue. So they keep doing it every time. It's something that becomes continuous. So imagine you are hungry, you are giving everybody food, you are not eating. A time is going to come, you're going to collapse. If you don't eat after some time, you're going to. So I don't want to say it, but that's just how it is. So one of the signs is people's pleasing. Another sign is that they fear abandonment, because they would always want people around them. It's when people that are around them, so they are able to help everybody, that is when they feel worthy of themselves. So most of the time they fear abandonment. They fear being abandoned by people, because when they are abandoned by people, they come to the realization of who they are, and something that is scary for them. So it's very difficult for them to be alone. Another thing is that they suffer from low self-worth or low self-esteem. They think very lowly of themselves. They don't see any good or any worth in themselves. They don't believe they are enough, and it's stemming from a place of low self. How will I put it? It's stemming from a place of them not loving themselves enough. So they don't love themselves. They are very they are their self-love bank is very low. Their self-acceptance bank is very low. Their self-worthiness bank is very low. So in such a situation, they don't really see the best in themselves. The only time they can see the best in themselves is when they help somebody or do something for somebody. So it becomes something they need to do continuously. Another thing is that there's always control issues. They are always monitoring everybody, checking everybody, controlling everybody. There's always anxiety. There's always hypervigilance. They are always checking on everybody, wanting to know how they are doing, wanting to control their lives, while they themselves don't take charge of their lives. So one of the things that they lack boundaries also. They don't have boundaries. They don't have personal boundaries, and it's very difficult for them to honor other people's boundaries. So they are people with no boundaries at all. So another sign is that they actually love to take care of people. They are the caretaker, they are the fixer, they are the rescuer, they are the, what do they call this, they are the everything. They like to always save people. They like to always take care of people. So most of the time, people, how will I put it? Like I said, there are people that fall into this category are people that are always there for other people, always taking care of others. Some parents fall into this situation. Even some we therapists, we relationship, we coaches, we fall into this category also, taking care of people and forgetting our own needs, and it becomes an addiction, whereby that is what we do every day. And before I wrap up this session, how does this happen? It happens in some different places. If you grew up in a home whereby there was addiction, you grew up in a home whereby there was emotional instability, there was abuse, there is this tendency that might actually become a codependent person. And another situation is that if as a child you were parentified. When I mean parentified, as a child, you were robbed of your childhood. You were meant to become an adult as a child. You took up responsibility for other people. You were the one taking care of them. You were the one taking care of your younger siblings. You grew up too fast. You have to become an adult, think like an adult. Such a situation, you might end up becoming a codependent as an adult. And another situation is that when you try to express your feelings as a child, they dismiss it or they ignore your feeling, and you realize that it's only when you do something good or when you do something nice, that is when they give you attention. In such a situation, you come up with this theory that it is when I behave good, it is when I take care of other people, that is when I am loved and appreciated, and that is what you continue to do, so that people will give you the love and the care that you need. It becomes an addiction. It becomes something you can't stop, even though you want to stop it. So these are few things that actually bring about codependency. So let me cite some examples of codependency. In a situation whereby you have couples that are married, the man might be the one abusing the wife. Everybody knows the man is abusing the wife, but the lady finds it very hard to leave, because that is where she's getting her self-esteem from. Her self-esteem is coming from the fact that she's actually married. So in such a situation, she makes up excuses for the man. She lies. Even when people want to intervene into their relationship and try to save her from this toxic or abusive relationship, she will always come up with lies. She will always stand up for him. She will always say everything is fine in their relationship. She knows she's going through a lot of problems in the relationship, but she finds it so hard to let go. Africans can relate very, very well. Some of our mothers, they stayed in toxic relationship. Their husband will maltreat them. They will say they are staying for the children. I laugh in Chinese. They are staying for the children. I won't go there today. Let's just keep it. I won't say more than that. You'll find them saying they stay for the children. Some of them might put up a facade relationship. Social media has also made it very, very easy for people. Everybody will snap pictures and put it on social media. We are one happy family. But when they are in their house, the husband will carry broom, the wife will carry bells, they will start beating each other, the children will be crying. But when they get to church, when they get to social media, everybody will smile for the camera. And everybody will think they have a happy family. So most of the time, most people that are in this relationship, the codependent partner, they happen to put up a facade. They will always lie. They will always cover up. They will always make excuses for the wrong behavior of their partner. You have a partner who has an addiction. You decide to start thinking of trying to fix him or her. Maybe let's use a woman. Maybe the woman is the one with the addiction this time around. You, the man, you decide you want to help her. Then you start trying to change her. You start controlling her and start doing everything. It is not yours to control. If your wife has an addiction, she needs to seek medical attention. You need to focus on yourself, because when you start focusing on your wife to start helping her, that is when you lose yourself and you begin to suffer from burnout, and that is where resentment is coming. So it is advisable, if you want to help your wife, let her go to the right appropriate medical places where she will get the right treatment, not you taking up the case of a doctor or anybody that treats people with addiction. I will always say, if you're in a relationship with somebody that has a traumatic background, it is not for you to help them heal. Fine, you might show them comfort, you might show them love, but let them go and see a counselor, let them go and see a therapist. You are not their therapist. It is not your job to fix them. Your job is to take care of yourself. So that is some of the examples of codependency. Let's take it in another way, whereby you in a family, this is a real life example. The father is a drunkard. The mother is somebody that is depressed. The firstborn was actually the one taking care of the siblings, and at the same time, she's taking care of the mother, and at the same time taking care of the dad. That lady grew up to be somebody taking care of everybody. She's always taking care of everybody. If she doesn't take care of everybody, she doesn't feel secure in herself. She became so used to it, so attached to it. She was somebody that is very close to me. There was a time I had to call her, come girl, what is really wrong with you? Why are you always doing this, doing that? Why can't you be still? She's always anxious, always believing that, oh, I have to do this, I have to solve it. It's because I didn't do this thing, that is why this is happening. In every of our relationships, she's always the one taking charge, trying to always make the decisions, trying to be the one to always make the choices. The men in the relationship she's always with, they don't have a voice. She's the voice in the relationship. And that is the reason why she never had a happy time in her relationship. Most of the time, she's always exhausted. And before you know it, she will start getting resentful and she will say, I don't want to be in this relationship anymore. She breaks. First, she keeps moving from one relationship to another before I asked her that something is definitely wrong with you and you need to check yourself. I'm not foolish. she was able to take to the advice. She went deep and she realized she has a problem. She went for therapy and she's okay now. She's actually married, happily married. She has learned to love herself. She learned to move from self abandonment into self love, and she realized that she is enough, that she doesn't need to seek validation outside before she can be happy. She's happy in who she is. She's happy in what she is. And the thing is, the person is actually older than me, but she's one of my friend, a very good friend too, for that matter. And she's happy now. She's close to 50. She's almost in her 50. But when I see her, she's an inspiration to me, because she came out from the darkness, from the pit of being dependent on other people for love, and she became somebody who believed in herself. She believed in herself that she is enough, and she's doing very, very well in her practice right now. Also, she's also a therapist also, and she's doing very, very well as a therapist. In fact, I'm like, when I look at her sometimes, like, wow, this is really a great transformation. So this is where I'll be stopping for today. So next week we'll be taking another topic on codependency. Next week I'll be talking about how codependency. I'll be going deep in depth how codependency, how it is, how it forms. So I'll be talking about each point and be going deep in depth into them. So that is what I'll be talking about next week. For the next subsequent week, I'll still be talking about the toxic dynamic, how secure your secure attachment style, your attachment style, I mean rather, how it actually forms codependent relationship, and lastly, how to break free from codependency and be able to love yourself, to accept yourself, and be happy with yourself, and have a thriving relationship with yourself, because that is the most important thing so far. So in all things, codependency, like I said, is self abandonment, and you deserve to love yourself. You deserve to give yourself that love. My last takeout is that you can't pour from an empty cup. It is only when your cup is full, that is when you can actually help any other person. So that is my takeout. So thank you guys for staying with me this far. I hope you got value for your time. If you got value for your time, hit the like button, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you're watching me for the first time, and also turn on the notification bell to get new updates when I make a new video. So guys, thank you very much, and I'll see you next week Friday with the next topic on this channel. I remain your host, Elizabeth Akiniyi. Bye bye.